Have you ever imagined being at a wedding that begins with celebration, music, and promises of union, but ends in blood, screams, and the silence of death? Well, if you watched Game of Thrones, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Red Wedding, one of the most shocking and unforgettable moments in television history. It wasn't just a scene, it was a scar left on the hearts of fans. It all began with the promise of an alliance. Robb Stark, the young wolf, carried the weight of the entire North on his shoulders. He believed he could win the war against the Lannisters and restore the honor of his house. But, as in every great tragedy, fate had other plans. The mistake? Breaking his word with Walder Frey, a man who, let's be honest, was already resentful, bitter, and vengeful. From there, every detail was meticulously set up for betrayal. The feast began like any other in Westeros, overflowing tables, wine flowing endlessly, musicians playing non-stop, and guests toasting as if tomorrow would never come. And little did they know, tomorrow truly would not. Catelyn Stark, ever watchful, noticed something was wrong first. Her heavy gaze caught every suspicious detail. The doors being locked, the Frey soldiers slowly closing in, and, of course, the music. Ah, the music, that melody that seemed innocent but carried the weight of a death sentence. The Rains of Castamere, a song that never meant anything good when it played, and then, when everyone was distracted, celebrating, trusting the idea of a wedding as a symbol of peace, the massacre began. Arrows flew, blades gleamed, and in seconds, the feast turned into a slaughterhouse. Robb, Catelyn, pregnant Talisa, no one was spared. It was brutal, merciless, and pitiless. That moment shattered everyone's expectations, because until then, we still believed in the classic fantasy formula. The hero faces hardships, but there's always a chance of victory. In the Red Wedding, Martin and the series taught us that, in Westeros, hope is just another illusion waiting to be crushed. Now, quick pause here. If you read into technology and have ever thought about creating your own automation projects, monitoring systems, or even that incredible IoT prototype, pay attention. The Arduino MKR Wi-Fi 1010 is a prototyping board that combines simplicity with power, with built-in Wi-Fi connectivity and ease of use. It's perfect for anyone who wants to bring their ideas to life without complications. If the Starks had won, maybe they could have foreseen the disaster, right? Back to it. The impact of the Red Wedding didn't just stay on screen. It hit us, the viewers. I remember the first time I watched that scene, it felt like the ground disappeared beneath my feet. It was the kind of shock that leaves you silent for a few minutes, just processing what just happened. You look around and think, no way. They didn't just do that, but they did. And the worst part, they did it in such a raw, real way that it was impossible not to feel it. And let's be honest, this was the moment many of us truly understood what Game of Thrones was about. It wasn't just about dragons, kings, and epic battles. It was about power, betrayal, and how even the greatest houses could fall in seconds. The show had no fear of breaking our hearts. In fact, that seemed to be its main mission. Catelyn, desperate, slitting the throat of a young Frey girl in a useless attempt to save her son. Robb, fallen, stabbed, still trying to fight for something already lost. And that deadly silence after the massacre, when the music stopped and only the stench of death remained. It was a masterclass in storytelling, but also a cruel reminder that justice doesn't always prevail. And here's the thing. The Red Wedding became almost a metaphor outside the series. Whenever something goes horribly wrong out of nowhere, whenever a situation that seemed perfect collapses in seconds, we say, "It was like the Red Wedding." Few TV scenes in history reached that level of cultural impact. In the end, Walder Frey got his revenge, but the price was steep. He didn't just destroy the Starks that night. He destroyed the hope of everyone who believed in the victory of honor over betrayal. And that's why this scene still echoes today, because it reminds us that sometimes the world doesn't reward the just. It simply devours those in its path. So I ask you, in the end, wasn't the true shock of the Red Wedding not the death of the characters we loved, but the death of our own innocence? As viewers,